Well, good evening, everyone. We'd like to call our March 24th Fayetteville City Council meeting to order. We welcome those who are joining us in the audience, those who may be logging in and sharing time with us remotely. We welcome you. At this time, we will have the invocation. We asked that Dr. Rosa Herman, and I don't know if Pastor Herman's coming, or it's I say Dr. Rosa. So, yes, sir, Pastor, I got you. So, Dr. Rosa Herman from Harvest Family Church is coming to lead us into prayer. If we could all stand for the invocation. Good evening, Dr. Herman.
Good evening, everyone. Let's pray. As we gather here today, I just want to take a moment. I want you to take a moment just to pause and reflect and seek guidance tonight. I ask for wisdom for our mayor and the council members. May you be filled with wisdom and understanding as you approach issues tonight. May you listen actively and respect each other's viewpoints in your decisions today. May you create an environment of collaboration and unity where different opinions are valued and understood. Allow yourself to embrace the common ground we all share as you strive for solutions that uplift the citizens of Fayetteville, North Carolina. May you be mindful of your words and actions tonight, knowing they have the power to inspire hope, encourage growth, and ignite positive change. May you remember your duty, not just to lead, but to serve with compassion and integrity. As you make decisions that shape the future of our city, may you hold tightly to your commitment to transparency, accountability, and the welfare of our neighbors. Amen.
Amen. And now we have, I'll go to Councilmember Green and the Scoutmaster for the Pledge of Allegiance. And then Pastor Rose, I'll call you back up, or Dr. Rose, I'll call you back up at the conclusion just to tell us a little bit about Harvest Family. We all know it. We visited, but I want you to brag on it a bit.
We have the Weeblos from PAC 747 from St. James Lutheran Church to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance tonight.
Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Well, thank you, gentlemen. Don't go too far. Maybe if you can sit on the front row, I'll call you and the Scoutmaster up to tell us a little bit about the great things that you guys are doing. But Dr. Rosa Herman, would you want to come and tell us a little bit about Harvest Family? And very familiar with it, and it's expanded to the western part of the city, but I'll leave it up to you.
We're on the west side. We also have a location on the east side as well. God has been faithful to us and very good to us. We have a congregation of members of people who love the Lord. We have a diverse community of all races. We have young and old that have been with us for over 25 plus years. And we are in a place where we are educating and empowering and encouraging people to be the best version of themselves. And so I want to brag a little bit more, but you have to come and visit and just see and experience an encounter with God that you probably would like to have, because it brings you closer to Him. And I believe if we let God be the center of everything that we do, we can run this city in a manner that we can cut crime down. And we just purchased the strip mall on Strickland Bridge Road 4 years ago, and we paid cash for it.
Amen.
Cash. So our people are givers, and they give as unto the Lord, and we've been good stewards of our finances. Our other property that we own on the east side with 40-some plus acres, that's paid in full as well. And so we have totally gone into cities and transformed that area. Strickland Bridge Road used to be the Food Line building, where it was so many drug-infested areas, killings, and prostitution. And we came in there and took control of that environment and changed it. And we just had last year, you were there with us, Thompson, and we served the community with over 500 people with free food.
Absolutely.
And games for the kids to play. So we're getting our footprint over in that area so that the people will have a place that they can worship and feel good about their community. We're all about building the community and building the city so it can be a better place where people can come and live and enjoy life to its fullest.
Well, thank
So,
you,
thank you.
Dr. Herman, for the great work that you and Pastor Herman are doing over at Harvest Family. And my colleague to the right, this is his church, and he's just busting with joy. So I'd be remiss if I didn't give him the mic real quick and greet your pastors.
Bishop and A.B. Rosa Herman, they both know how much I love them. Thank you all for being here, and thank you all for covering the city.
Yeah.
Oh, the address is 6575 Fisher Road. Mr. Thompson wanted me to announce it's in his district.
Oh,
But my other location is in my district, so.
Awesome ministry. I come through, my wife's a member of the church, but come through and I feel that Pastor and Ms. Herman always make me feel at home. And so thank you for the work you're doing in our city. Thank you for the great things that are to come. And thank you for covering both the east and west side so I can separate these two about who's claiming ownership. So thank you. Let's give them a round of applause. All right, moving forward. Councilmember Green, you have these special wee woo scouts here. You want to talk to us a little bit about or introduce the Scoutmaster?
We have their Scoutmaster, Tyler Fitzgerald. So Tyler, I'll let you talk about him.
Thanks, ma'am.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Mayor, City Council. Thanks for welcoming us in this evening. I'm Tyler Fitzgerald. I'm the den leader for just the Weeblos, and then we're joined by Tom Williams, who's the Cub Master, and then a number of other parents and volunteers in the back. So we're from St. James Lutheran Church, right up the road here in Haymount, and Weeblos Den is 10 and 11-year-olds, 3rd and 4th grade. And so they're, kind of one step from the end of their Cub Scout journey before they move on to scouting. Over the past year, Cub Scouts has updated their curriculum. And so not only is it focused on outdoor skills, but also almost equally on civic-minded responsibilities. And so as part of that, we have a My Community adventure. A set of requirements. And in my community, we've studied the 3 branches of government, mostly talking on the federal level, but understanding it at each echelon. We talked about voting and how all that works, and then community service, including we've had different trips for food drives and wreaths across America at the local veterans cemetery. But overall, we've been working with Ms. Green for a few weeks, and it's been a great experience for the Scouts to witness kind of democracy in action. So thanks for having us.
Thank you. Thank you. And thank you. All right. Look forward to you all taking our places up here. So just get ready for it. But Boy Scouts, an excellent organization. I was a part of it as a kid. Gave me discipline and keeps you focused. So thank you for the investment in our future in the city. So thank you all. All right, Council, as we move next to our announcements, would like to welcome, I think, Councilmember Green got it. As we move to the announcements section, we do have a special guest here tonight, a number of guests from Fayetteville State University. I saw Chancellor Allison is here with his team. Chancellor, we will ask that you would come to the podium, and we turn it over to you, sir. Good to see you.
Thank you, Mayor, City Council. Pleasure to be with you. And as always here, I'm a little bit old school, so I need a little help here. We have a slide with 2-part here, and one is to kind of give a real introduction regarding NC Innovation. Our university was bestowed by the state of being one of the hubs, and so we thought that we'd give the city, this region, an update here. And so I click on the left. Okay, all right. And then just scroll down. All right, and we will proceed. But we're really excited. And so at a high level, the state of North Carolina did something very strategic a few years ago, really out of frustration. Everybody knows that North Carolina, we are known at the universities levels for significant research. and everybody knows, and you think about Carolina and the research, RTP, things of that nature. Our university, UNC system, second to none in the nation. But when it comes to capturing that research and commercializing it, this is where North Carolina ranks at the top and then precipitously falls to the bottom as that research goes to bordering states and then states throughout the nation when it comes to marketing and commercializing that research into the dollar. And so the state of North Carolina made a strategic decision to say, let's see if we can't capture that. Let's see if we can not only be a leader as it relates to research, utilizing the brilliance of our universities, but at the same time, let's see if we can create an opportunity to commercialize that research and capture it and generate jobs and stimulate the economy, if you will. And so I just clicked the wrong thing. Shame on the chancellor of Fayetteville State University. And that's why I have such a good, able team around me here. So I clicked the left side instead of the right side. So I'm have to click the right side. Is that what we're saying here? So it's a PDF. Okay, I didn't know that.
It's going to be the one that says the date.
Right there.
Bottom one. That's the newest.
So is it a PowerPoint or?
No, we got it as a PDF.
Okay.
So what we can do is we can erase it there.
Okay, and then scroll?
Just
Okay.
use your
All right. So this is what the state of North Carolina did. The state of North Carolina appropriated reserve funds, $500 million, NC Innovation Endowed. And what they decided to do is they said, we already know that we have large cities, and we already know that we have the UNC Chapel Hill, and we have the NC State, and they'll do well. They'll do well. But we have universities in the mountains, we have universities in the Triad, and we have universities in other parts of North Carolina that we really want to stimulate. And what about the idea of creating hubs, actually having hubs on the campuses there? And let's create an opportunity for these universities to compete. They may not be high research institutions, but applied research. Let's see if there's some stimulus for those universities to put up a package here and compete. And so I am happy to state that we have hubs in Western Carolina, Asheville, UNC Charlotte, North Carolina A&T, ECU, and UNC Wilmington. And ladies and gentlemen, here recently, Fayetteville State University became the 7th hub in the state of North Carolina.
That's beautiful.
And that is pretty significant for us. That's an impact here for Fayetteville. That's an impact here for Cumberland. That's an impact here for the Sand Hills region, 1 of 7. And one of the things that was stated to me, one of the board members of NC Innovation, they said, hey, Chancellor, we really do see an opportunity for Fayetteville State University, or our industry sector. Our goal and our hope is that, man, you guys can be a stimulus for us, for the state, around defense innovation. And what does that mean for us? Each of these universities will have our own director. So NC Innovation, they will have their regional director. And I'm happy to introduce at this time Dr. Allison Beatty. And she is 2 months on the job. And so I will pass it off to her.
Welcome, Dr. Bean.
And she's a real heavyweight.
Thank you, Chancellor Allison. Hello, it's very, very nice to meet you. Thank you for having me here. And Fayetteville State University, thank you guys so much for the warm welcome. Thank you for inviting me here tonight. As you can tell from our names, you just shout Allison, you're going to get one of us. So I feel like this is where I'm supposed to be. So I can honestly think of no better place in this state for an NC Innovation Hub, especially because of the motto, this is the can-do city, and NC Innovation is all about being the idea of can-do. And what I learned from my time at National Security Innovation Network is that what really makes America great is that not only do we have a couple of heavy-hitting universities across the country, the Ivy Leagues, the schools that get all the credit, but we have all of these incredible universities just under the radar who are producing equally fantastic research every single day. They don't get the credit, but they're doing just as good of work, and they need our support. And Fayetteville State University is one of those schools. So that is why I'm here, and I'm also gonna wing it on this thing? This, okay. Awesome. So our mission is to accelerate the commercialization of technology out of those excellent, excellent universities that are somewhat under the radar. And we do that both through the endowment that Chancellor Allison mentioned, and then also through bespoke on-hand support through our in-person hub directors across the state, which I am so happy to get to be one of those. And so one of the most important things we provide from that perspective is custom advice and step-by-step instructions for how to accelerate the development of an idea from the laboratory into a business. How many people here tonight have actually started a business? Would you say that it's easy?
No, not hard, hardly.
It's hard. It takes work. And especially when you're in a high-tech technology area, a lot of the questions that pop up are, do I have technology that can be patented? Is somebody going to steal my idea? On the defense research side, is this technology that may put me at risk for foreign attention that perhaps I do not want? NC Innovation is there to assist with all of that. And if I think any of the people here who have started a business might have wished that they had somebody holding their hand along the way, helping them find out whether or not they have patentable technology and taking the steps to do so, they would welcome that with eager arms. And so that's what we're here to provide for Fayetteville State University and UNC Pembroke. This is a chart of the area that NC Innovation specifically strikes at the heart of. It's after you have won maybe your first couple of grants to investigate a hypothesis, and before you've gotten to the stage where you have a product that you can sell for revenue. We assist all of the university researchers with moving past the grant stage and into the prototyping and the startup stage. So it's making sure that you have an idea, getting it patented, and then finding customers and revenue across the state. Here are a couple of examples of really awesome things underway at FSU right now that we're deeply involved with. One of them is a non-toxic pesticide that kills beetles that kill chickens. As you know, poultry is one of North Carolina's top industries, and finding a way to keep those chickens safe and possibly even increase the nutrition of the eggs and the meat that they deliver is just one of the things underway at FSU right now. We also have AI-enabled remote sensors for intelligence applications. If you think about, for example, the ocean or the coast of North Carolina, very large, very hard to monitor with boats, but that's something that this technology might be able to do. And we are exploring how to get that from the ideation stage into applications that have both civil and military possibilities. We also have excellent researchers working on microchip sensors that can fit into clothing. So it's part of that smart wearable technology. North Carolina obviously has an incredible history with textiles, and this research is helping to bring that back to this state. And then we also have a researcher who's working on low-cost biosensors to detect PFAS. As you're probably aware, that's a chemical that accretes slowly over time and can often go undetected and cause problems before it actually is even noticed to be a problem. So this is technology that's working to prevent that and keep everybody safe. And trust me, that is just a drop in the bucket of everything that's happening at FSU. I've been working my hardest to go out and meet all of the researchers who are doing cool things, and this doesn't even scratch the surface. It's hard to meet them because they're all in the laboratory, like, doing amazing work. So I'm really excited to maybe be able to report back sometime in the future with more awesome stuff coming out of FSU. But here's a small sample of the things that NC Innovation is actively supporting right now through connecting them with sponsors, finding people who will help prototype and test these technologies, and then also with patent research. All of this is even before they've won one of the grants that NC Innovation is kind of more well known for being able to give out. And then one of my personal goals for this role is to increase the visibility between the university and all of the businesses that are in Fayetteville that make Fayetteville the can-do city. So along those lines, we're going to be planning and hosting a series of events that do just that are connecting all the industry partners to researchers at FSU who are doing exactly the type of things that they're doing out in the business world, and hopefully accelerating the development of cool project ideas. So with that, I'd like to bring back up the other Allison, Chancellor Allison, to help explain the first event we have in mind.
Yeah, we'll do it together. Allison and Allison, got a nice ring to it here, but this is our commitment. This is our commitment to Fayetteville, and we're announcing the new Innovation Pathways and Partnerships Breakfast Series. And so you see, we've been fast at work. We like to collaborate. We like to do it together. And so we've been busy here, Greater Fayetteville Chamber, the Fayetteville Cumberland, kind of Can-Do, Carolina. And so April 29th on the campus here at Fayetteville State University, this is what we're doing. Unique. We're bringing the faculty, businesses, and the military innovators together regionally. So yes, it's Fayetteville, Pembroke, Methodist, FTCC. So bringing our universities, and then military innovators. You can speak to that, and then our business, local business. So a little bit unique, a lot of intentionality, and then we have Big Bad NC Innovation with some resources here, and so we're really excited about it, Mr. Mayor and Council. And I'll pass it back to you.
Thank you so much. Yeah, what I would like to say is that the vision for this, if the first inaugural event goes well, is that small businesses and even medium-sized and large businesses will come to know that this is a somewhat repeating event where it's like, oh, are you a new small business? Come to this mixer that we're going to be having so that you can immediately meet the right researchers at FSU who are working on technology of interest to you. Great way to help the university get connected to local businesses working on the exact same research, and then a really great way for local businesses to learn all of the amazing things that are happening at FSU. So that's just one of many opportunities. Thank you for the time today. Thank you guys for your support along the way, and looking forward to doing great things.
Thank you. Don't get too far. I have a couple of questions. I see Councilmember Banks McLaughlin, you had a question, and then Councilmember Davis, and then I had a question.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, both Allison and Allison Duo, for the presentation. You guys are doing some amazing things in our community. Matter of fact, I was just in Wilmington on Thursday with the Governor's Crime Commission, and Fayetteville State was the talk of the town. I visited the Harrelson Center, and they were talking about how they are in partnership with the nursing program there. So it's good to hear, people talk about us and our city in different cities. So it's great to hear that information.
Thank you. And before I go to Councilman Davis, I think, Chester, this is exciting because, we always get asked the question, when are you all going to get the good jobs, the tech jobs, the IT jobs? And we've been watching the progress that we've made as a community during our State of the City and during Robert Van Geen's economic development briefing about how we are moving in more technical spaces. The employers are taking notice. We got a natural fit for defense. So this is amazing stuff because those are the kind of jobs that I think all of us desire. We're watching what's going on in the Triangle. It's because they made preparations and they've got their universities at the tip of the spear with bringing research and innovation and that kind of infrastructure to it. So this is exciting stuff. Welcome to the community. It's got a lot of money there, so I didn't see how much was ours, but just try to get $4.99 if you can. But this is exciting, and so with that, Chancellor, I think that you had another component to tonight's conversation that I wanted to make sure that we talked about. Just to give some context behind it, you came and spoke to us, I think, early on when you were still in the process or right after the initial award for this site by the state for an innovation hub site. We entered into an agreement with Fayetteville State University on a city-owned catalyst. Catalyst Site 1 is what we call it, but it's on the southern end of Murchison Road. I think we acquired it in 2012 or 13. We did an MOU with Fayetteville State maybe a year ago or so. Talk to us a little bit about that, and I understand that you may have some plans and there's some things that you want the council to hear about.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Mayor and members of the council. Thank you for the opportunity to speak to you tonight on this and for your continued partnership and support of Fayetteville State University. We truly value the strong relationship that we have built over the years. Our collaboration reflects a shared commitment to enhancing the quality of life and educational opportunities and the economic vitality across our city. And together we're making lasting contributions to Fayetteville's future. I am pleased, Ms. Mayor, to share that meaningful progress continues on the potential land exchange between Fayetteville State University and the city of Fayetteville, an important milestone in our joint pursuit of community development. This initiative represents a thoughtful, strategic alignment of assets that can be leveraged to serve the public good. It's a reflection of how, as partners, we can come together to implement long-range planning for the benefit of Murchison Road community and our entire region. So actions by Fayetteville State University. Recently, the Fayetteville State Board of Trustees voted to approve the transfer of Washington Drive property to the city. This decision underscores the university's commitment to supporting the city's redevelopment efforts and contributing to projects that align with broader community needs. Additionally, we look forward to reaching an agreement on the transfer of the Catalyst site property to one of FSU's entities. This site holds tremendous potential for future development that supports the university's growth, enhances student and faculty experiences, and strengthens our presence as a key economic driver in the region. We strongly believe that the partnership between the city and FSU involving the transfer of properties of our Washington Drive to the city and the city Catalyst Site 1 property downtown to Fayetteville State University will advance long-term initiatives that reflect our mutual vision for inclusive growth and revitalization and educational excellence, particularly along Murchison Road. It also demonstrates the power of collaboration in tracking complex challenges and innovation and win-win solutions. We're excited about what lies ahead and remain fully committed to working alongside the city to create new opportunities for growth, innovation, and prosperity. So we thank you again for the leadership, your vision, and your unwavering partnership, Mayor and City Council.
Thank you, Chancellor. And Chancellor, to that point, do have a couple lights pressing here, just for the context for the listening audience. In this original memorandum of understanding, city was, I think, allowed Fayetteville State to be kind of the master developer of it. And as you've been trying to put the pieces together and obtain funding from various sources, county and so forth, with potential partnerships there, I understand you're in discussion about that. It may come up for some, whatever you could share pertaining to that. You're now in this next phase of this, from the understanding that we've had. And the reason I'm giving the background is because some of this council had discussed separately. What the action your board took today and what the legal departments have been working on would be ultimately what you said. How does that help you do what you need to do? I know you were active with lobbying for resources from the legislator and from other sources. Speak to that a little bit about what that enables you to do or opens the door for that you can't do with the current arrangement. Because really, right now, it's still the cities, but you just have a use agreement. So it's like renting a home versus owning a home. So can you speak to that a bit?
Yeah, and I may follow back up with you. When I say it's collaboration, it's real collaboration. And so for us, when you look at the current composition of Fayetteville State University, we're landlocked, and we're forever growing. For the first time in our history, and we're the second oldest public university in all of North Carolina, 1867, we just eclipsed 7,000 students, 7,100 students. Man. And we're on the pathway of being 7,500 students this fall.
Wow, that's great.
Now, as great as that is, we've got capacity challenges. And so we're as the great city of Fayetteville, because of the genius that I see before me, we're looking and in need of expansion. And so when I say collaboration, that's collaboration. But I also look back at the mayor and I look at the council. We heard this body say that innovation is not just NC innovation at Fayetteville State University, but we also heard that ringing of innovation district. And so that resonated with us. And we know that there's some thoughts about where is that within the city. And so that's one of the things that our leadership, that's one of the reasons why our board of trustees took the action in responding, because again, it's a partnership. And so how do we as a partner, how do we continue our partnership with Bronco Midtown, working with the city? How do we, Council Hare, continue not only being an academic institution, but being a partner here for our fellow man and fellow women along Murchison in the community to make sure that life is not just well for our students, but also for our non-students, those who live in the community. And so it is a partnership in a real way here. And so we see a lot of opportunity here. You see the work that we're doing in NC Innovation. We think there's some opportunities here commercial-wise, perhaps residential, townhome. We understand that workforce growth, if you will. And so we're listening, we're hearing, and I think we have a partnership. I think we have done pretty well as partners on some of the projects we've launched here together. Many of you have cut ribbon and picked confetti out your hair on some of the projects we've done together. And it's our hope that we'll continue to do that, Mayor and City Council, both up Murchison and maybe a little closer to your downtown.
All right.
Right on Calisite 1.
All right, thank you. Councilmember Davis, and then here.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. First of all, thank you, sir, for bringing this to us. Thank you for being willing to collaborate with us and not only the city but the county. Mr. Mayor, when there was no any more questions, I was going to make a motion to accept.
All right, I do see Councilmember Hare's light, and Jennifer, I think, or Ms. Paula text to tell me that Mayor Pro Tem's online. Okay. All right, Councilmember Hare.
Thank you, Mayor. Just wanted to echo, as I have before, whenever you say Murchison Road, I smile also, just like I do in supporting Fayetteville State University. For years, we have been pushing to do all we can to improve the Murchison Road corridor. And I'm honored that we are even more involved with a partnership. It's good when you're not the single drum major, but there are many others now. So thank you for what you're doing, and we appreciate being partners with you on this, and more to come.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Mayor.
All right, Councilmember Davis, I'll go to you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I would like to move that we accept the MOU and direct city attorney to draft that MOU, help draft that MOU with Fayetteville State University.
All right. So if I understand, let me clarify the motion. So the motion, we received the report as presented. The two staffs had been working, legal had been working on the MOU. I think some of the parameters that the city attorney mentioned that they're working through in the follow-up meeting just to make sure that everything is aligns on our end with compliances is a foregone conclusion that we need to do that. But your motion is to allow them to continue to do that. And when that's complete, then I guess the next phase would be to solidify it if all questions align. Then, right? All right. There's a motion by Councilmember Davis. Councilmember Green.
Second, but if Mr. Hare would like, if Councilmember Hare would like to?
No,
I'll be fine with that.
I was just kind of
Well, you beat him to the light.
making
so.
sure that
Okay.
the mayor kind of cleared up some things with
Well, you know,
the motion, so please.
we as E.E. Smith alumni feel like we belong to Fayetteville State University anyway.
There you
So in that spirit, I wanted to make that motion, that second.
All right.
Thank you for being here. We appreciate the update.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Motion by Councilmember Davis, seconded by Councilmember Green. And discussion, Councilmember Benavente.
Yeah, just a point of inquiry. What was the motion again?
Were you here?
Well, I didn't know if this was a report or this was just an announcement. And then I heard that there were some foregone conclusions. So I'm just trying to clarify.
About being legal? Absolutely.
Just like I said, what was the motion exactly?
Thank you. The motion was to accept the MOU and continue the conversation to drafting the MOU with the city attorney.
Accept an MOU?
It was accept the report.
Accept the report of the MOU.
And it was a consensus for the attorney to continue working with their legal to further the document for the MOU within the parameters that we discussed, that you were in the meeting.
Well, yeah, because he just said accept the MOU, but it sounds like there's something that's still being drafted. So I just want to make sure I'm understanding the motion. It is to
give her consensus to move forward with the legal department to complete the MOU.
Okay. For us to consider at that point.
This is a consensus. Well, it's your motion. So
what I'm trying to
my
understand.
understanding is that the parameters were laid out, and you and legal are talking what legal people talk about to make sure that it's compliant. But the MOU would be an agreement between the two institutions that are within the confines that council has defined to you in our first and second and third conversation about it.
No, I mean, I think if we were going to have MOUs developed, we would have to have an opportunity to review that before we agree to anything. So I just want to make sure we're not skipping any steps here.
Well, not skipping steps, but I think his motion is to trust the city attorney with her law degree to do it within the parameters that we laid out for her.
I mean, I'd be glad to clarify with the city attorney if that's what we need to do.
Well, he's the motion maker, so it depends on what
because it
council
sounds
does
like
after that.
because that's not the discussion we had upstairs. So, Madam Attorney, if we have an agreement that you put onto paper that is fit within some parameters that we've given you, does that mean that it's automatically executed at that point, or did you need to present what you solidify before we execute anything?
Councilmember Benavente, as you know, I work at the pleasure of the council. And so whatever direction council gives me, that is the direction that I will take and implement. As I understand it, I am working with FSU on an MOU. If council would like for me to bring that back, I'm happy to do that. If council would like to further define the parameters, I'm happy to hear that and implement those as well.
So I just want to make sure that we're not voting today to agree to something we haven't reviewed.
Well, it's going to be whatever his motion is that passes, and then you can make a subsequent one if you have it. But we have, in numerous occasions, laid out the guidelines for the city manager and the city attorney to do what we've asked to do and to sign it
I'll
or
get
to authorize
if I could make
signed.
an objective inquiry, then,
Okay.
Mr. City Manager, we had a work session. We had a work session where Chancellor Allison came and spoke with us. That was one occasion that we discussed this. What is any other occasion that we've discussed this beyond that one? 'Cause I'm not counting numerous.
Right. Let me take it back very briefly before we start the meeting. We did multiple iterations of an RFP for Catalyst Site 1. I had the pleasure of being here in a different seat when we went all the way back and council adopted that plan along with Marshall Isler. And
What year are we talking?
this would have been, Chris, what year was that? Probably 2004 or earlier, 2005. We came with
So I
a
was still in
variety
high
of
school.
catalytic sites, this is being the number one. All the way since 2015, when I came back, this council and others have been very deeply engaged in trying to move that as a catalytic process. Our last RFP, I think the respondent we received was Fayetteville State University, who responded to it, and we entered into an MOU with them. I did not see the draft MOU that is being contemplated, but as the city attorney, I think, said, I believe that we have enough guidance to draft that out, consistent with kind of council direction. But if it is, as the mayor said, council's direction that you would like to see it before.
Well, my
Mayor didn't
actual
say that.
question was, how many times have we discussed this in the contemporary sense, not since 2004? It sounds like it was one time.
Yes.
So the mayor's conjecture that, or contention that it was multiple times
No,
seems
no,
inaccurate.
sir. So please don't requote me. What I said was numerous conversations that you were a party to one there, you were a party to the one upstairs, and this is the third. That's numerous to me. So
I think that's
the
a
motion
stretch.
is that he is asking council to consider allowing our legal departments to draft this document. Okay, they're working on that. We've laid out the parameters for the city attorney. That she also brought things to us to make sure that they were addressed and memorialized in any agreement that's made. And the motion is to accept this report that he gave, which
That part is easy. I'm good
we've
with that.
done, and to give authorization for the city attorney to continue that work.
Of drafting, not necessarily agreeing to
Okay.
anything that we haven't reviewed yet. That's the issue, sir.
Well, so that is a council consideration. Either we believe that she does it, which we've had numerous opportunities where we say the manager is authorized to do this and execute it based on these conditions. Now, that is a decision for the council. So this is Malik's motion. We've had discussion on it.
So then let me clarify one last time. Mr. Malik Davis, is your expectation that we no longer see it
We're going to call for the
again?
vote, sir. He's stated that
So
numerous times.
I don't think it's clear. Is the expectation that we will never see this MOU because it's going to get agreed to?
Mario, if you have a subsequent motion, make it. Right now, the motion on the floor is as
It's
stated.
unclear.
He's restated it.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank
please
you,
restate
Mr.
it.
Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. At this time, I move to accept this report and that we, as council, direct the city attorney to work with FSU to draw up the MOU. That's the motion.
Okay. All right. Councilman Alejandro.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Question on the motion. I just need to know if we're going to see this again or not.
It's the council's pleasure. So Malik,
Well,
you're
I'm
the
asking the
maker.
motioner, I guess.
Are you asking that I put a timeline back on this to get see the MOU?
No, does your
or-
motion?
Council,
for-
let's bring this in context. You've given her guidance, and her and the legal department have already started working on it.
Right.
Okay. So now, this motion codifies that work, or this motion allows her to execute it. It's simple. So you can either say it that she can continue to draft it within the parameters and bring it back for review and adoption, or the other option is that you allow her to execute it. It's two simple options. So I
Yes,
guess
I'm
that's
just
the
asking which
clarification
one.
that they're asking for.
I'm just asking which one this motion is.
Yeah. So is to bring back, council member?
Usually you would think that the city attorney would bring something back to council, but
Let's codify.
I'll make my motion one more time. I move to accept this report and direct city attorney to draw up the MOU with FSU and bring it back to council for consideration.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. All right. All right. All right. We've hashed it out. Let's vote. All right. Mayor Pro Tem Jensen. Mayor Pro Tem? She's off. Huh? Yeah, oh, Paula, can you see her? All right. All right, motion carries by those voting. I don't know what happened to Mayor Pro Tem, so she gave them, okay. So unanimous on that. All right, Chancellor, thank you. We look forward to the legal team. Madam Attorney, I guess you'll keep us posted on the scheduling of it as you all work through it. Any conversational details that we need to know about, you'll keep us abreast.
Yes, sir. We're meeting tomorrow.
All right, thank you. All right, thank you. Good work. Thank you, FSU. All right. Council, moving to, I'm sorry, Councilmember Banks McLaughlin.
Thank you, Mayor. I just have an announcement. Earlier today, myself along with some of our state delegation, Representative Whitley, Colvin, and Smith, and Chairman Kirk Dervier had the opportunity to tour the Partnership for Children. And they wanted me to inform you guys that they are very appreciative of the funding that supported. They have a early childhood educator programs, which is beneficial to our economic development. And we know that we have we're trying to fill a gap in when it comes to child care. So with those funds, they are able to provide pre-service training, background check, and I think it's like an 8-week program I think they have 20 slots. So they're helping, the city has helped fund this program. And they also wanted to mention, they highlighted Mr. Colley, all his great work. So I just wanted to inform the community of that, and as well as letting the city know that they're very appreciative with the funding. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Thank you, Councilwoman, and thank you for update us on that. All right. So, Council, moving to the next item. This is kind of bittersweet. Where's Chief Braden at? Is he hiding away back there somewhere? He put on his fishing gear yet, but this is kind of his last meeting with us. So, Chief, I'm going to meet you down at the podium. We want to express, a lot of our sentiments. Many of us attended your retirement ceremony the other day, a very heartfelt ceremony, and I was glad we were able to attend just to hear how you viewed from your peers and from those who you've been their supervisor. A lot of times since you retire, and they can go on and tell you what they really think about you. But at least they kept it to themselves during the public meeting, so. Yeah, we've been working on that. He's firm. Well, Chief, speaking to Mike, we can never thank you and any officers or firefighters or anyone who offers themselves up day in and day out to keep us safe in this community for the work you do. But as a token of our appreciation and the years of service that you've rendered to this community, we give you the highest honor and award that we can. And it's the key to our city that you've protected for 29 years, almost 3 decades. So, and it reads as follows. On behalf of the Fayetteville City Council, employees, and citizens of Fayetteville, North Carolina, our city key and coin are proudly presented to Chief Kimberlyn Braden, Police Chief, in grateful recognition of his devoted interest and untiring commitment to the citizens of Fayetteville while serving the city of Fayetteville for the past 29 years. From March 18th, 1996 to April the 1st, 2025. Chief, thank you. Thank you.
I sort of feel like a bad rock and roll band on its farewell tour that just keeps coming back and saying more and more. But no, thank you for this honor tonight and a chance to speak at the last council meeting that I will be attending as the chief of police. And I've said it so many times over the past several weeks, it's been a privilege to serve the city of Fayetteville for 29 years. In 1996, as a brand new rookie police officer, I never dreamed that I'd be standing here today at this podium leading the men and women of the Fayetteville Police Department. but it has been my honor. It has been my privilege to do so. I've learned so many things growing up here within this department. I've worked with some of the finest men and women in the law enforcement profession. I'd like to give a thank you to you as a council. I'd like to give a thank you to Manager Hewitt for taking a chance on a cowboy cop out there to be the chief of police. But again, I think that we all say what we would do if we were in charge, and very few of us get the opportunity to do that thing. And I'm grateful to have had that opportunity, and I'm grateful to the city of Fayetteville, all the citizens, and everybody that supported me throughout my tenure as chief of police.
Well, thank you again, sir, and particularly your family that has sacrificed and allowed you to serve for 29 years to the citizens. So thank you to your wife and your children and your family. All right, council, moving on to city manager's report. Mr. Manager.
Yes, sir. Mayor, again, not to take anything away from the chief for his faithful service, but if I could also ask Todd Joyce just to come forward very briefly. And I'd like to introduce him to the larger community if they had not seen as well. He is going to serve and serve ably, as I know he will, and you do as well, as our interim police chief.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Mr. Manager. Thank you, Mayor and Council. It is definitely an honor and a privilege for me to be able to serve in that capacity right now. Having grown up here, born and raised here, high school, and even at Fayetteville State. It means a lot to me to be here, what I can contribute. Everything that Chief Braden has been able to do over the last couple of years, I want to continue that, to see those reductions again and how we work towards that. We know we have some challenges that lie ahead of us, but we have a number of partners that we can work with to address some of those things, some of the things that we've seen over this past weekend. So I look forward to those challenges, and whether it's an internal candidate or someone from the outside, we want to continue to work with them to move Fayetteville forward.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chief Joyce. It's got a ring to it, doesn't it? So we've known Todd a long time. So thank you for stepping up to fulfill these big shoes. So we're here to support you in any way we can. Thank you, sir. All right, Council, moving to item 6.0 is the agenda approval. Can we, I think I see Councilmember Banks McLaughlin. Is that a motion? Motion by Councilmember Banks McLaughlin. Is there a second? Second by Councilmember Hare. All right, discussion on the motion to approve the agenda. All right, Council, I'll look to you for action on that. Mayor Pro Tem. She fell off? Okay, well, I hope she gets up. All right. All right, motion carries 9-0. Moving to consent. I go to Councilmember Davis. And Councilmember Davis, that one particular item, were you looking to pull that completely or just that one particular
Just District
D2 house?
The D2 house.
Yeah, we had talked about that.
Yeah.
So if you could entertain, I mean, if your pleasure, you could, we entertain a motion to approve it with the removal of, how can he do that, Madam Attorney? He can just remove that specific one?
Just a motion to approve and removing that particular address from that item number.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I move to approve the consent agenda with the exception of 7.0A4, removing 1307 Coburn Street. That's the motion. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
All right, so a motion by Councilmember Davis to approve with the exception of 1307 Coburn Street that's listed under 7.0A4, seconded by Councilmember Benavente. All right. Council, any discussion on the motion? Thinks he's in court, doesn't he? All right, I'll look to you for your votes for that. All right, motion carries unanimous. All right, Council, moving to item 8.0 section, Stormwater Advisory Annual Report. Mr. Byron and team, good evening.
Good evening. Let me get it pulled up. So I am your staff liaison for the Stormwater Advisory Board, and with us tonight is our chair, Mr. Whitaker Granis, and he will be going through the presentation. So, thank you.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
My name is Whitaker Granis. I'm a resident of District 5, and I am the Stormwater Advisory Board chairman. I've been on the board for 2 years, and I want to thank you all for allowing me to join back up for 2 more years since my term is up. This is our agenda. We'll go through it pretty quickly here. The SWAB is 9 members appointed by the council for 2 years. Notable alumni, infamously Mr. Dino Honduras, graduated from the SWAB and moved on to the city council, and is one of our regular He's one of our regular guests, and we appreciate that. Our meetings are held the first Tuesday of the month at 5:30. We are in the Fast Transit Center. As part of your consent agenda, you approved amendments to our bylaws. I thank you for that. One of the issues there was the bylaws had a location for us that we no longer meet in. We are open to the public, and we welcome guests both from City Council and the general public. We've got some interesting meetings coming up, including talking about the new impervious stormwater survey. The reason that Stormwater Committee was originally created, it is a requirement of the city's National Pollution Discharge Emission System, permit that we've had for a while. We also provide guidance and advice to the council on stormwater systems. We have the power and the duty to act in matters related to the administrative review of orders, requirements, decisions, and determinations made by the stormwater manager or other administrative official. And we do provide a final review and approval of the eligible DAP program, Drainage Assistance Program, which we also call the DAP, which is a really a program that I think is very helpful for our citizens. The Stormwater System, of course, the Clean Water Act of 1972, and then the Water Quality Act of 1987, which defines what stormwater is. The National Pollution Discharge Elimination System program is what requires the Stormwater Board to be there. One of the things we have to do is review our permit every year, and that is EPA runs it, and they pass it on to the North Carolina Department of Environmental Quality. To some degree, this is an unfunded mandate. So the city of Fayetteville has to have this permit in order to have a stormwater system. There are no federal funds that come in specifically targeted for it, and so we have to have this program in place in order to comply. Our permit was first issued in 1995. We began having a stormwater fee, the same issue, and the quantity of our stormwater that we discharge was originally added to the ordinance in 2009. Two-part program, quality and quantity. Quantity is the really popular one since our hurricanes Matthew and Florence, which is part of what brought my attention to stormwater. We saw so much flooding from that. We were doing so much work in the stormwater group to try and address that, and that's what brought me in. The capital improvement program, of course, is a program that you guys have approved and that addresses major issues with our stormwater program. The Drainage Assistance Program helps homeowners who may have a problem with their stormwater system at their house or that impacts waters coming off the road. A lot of our stormwater infrastructure in Fayetteville is from the 1970s. And so those systems are 50 years old and they're starting to fail. And so we're seeing more and more of those in older neighborhoods, and these really help out homeowners with really projects that they would not be able to afford. And then, of course, we're currently working on the watershed studies. I'm a map nerd. I love looking at the maps that Byron and his group bring to us with the stormwater studies and seeing all the different things as they're studying the city of Fayetteville. Nice little program or slide here that talks about all the different parts of the MPDES and how important it is and the impacts it has on our community. And of course, here we have some of the quantity pictures. I think we're all familiar with that. If you lived in Fayetteville during Hurricane Matthew or Florence, you know how bad that was. The city street in front of my mother's house was Rayford Road, and it had about 4 feet of water on it in the height of Florence. So it's a major problem that we are slowly addressing. Activities and accomplishments, I don't want to read through all these, but we are very busy in the Stormwater Committee. We look at all the drainage assistance projects. We get briefed on all of the capital improvement projects and the new projects that we're working on. As required by law, we review and provide public input on our stormwater management plan and the NPDES permit. I believe that's every year, every couple of years. And we also, this year, we proposed and approved the bylaw amendments, which you guys just approved also. And the big thing there was it allowed us to add Robert's Rules of Order to our bylaws, which for some reason they had been there for a while and we didn't have that. That allows us to control our meetings a little better. Upcoming events, things we're excited about. The staff is going to attend the Marksman School Day event. We expect 5,000 children to arrive. Public outreach and engagement is an important part of the stormwater plan. After being on the board for 2 years, it's hard to understand exactly what stormwater is. And I really like that the city is making an effort to go through and explain not just about stormwater quantity and quality, but also how the city of Fayetteville is addressing it. The impervious area analysis and tiered rate structure study is something we're really looking forward to. There's been a full analysis of the city. We're looking at how much of the individual's property are impervious, and they're going to update the rates that commercial groups pay for their impervious surface to help control the stormwater they contribute to. And then there's a discussion of applying that same process to residences, and we're looking forward to see what that analysis is and what it looks like. How it both impacts income from stormwater and the ability to have equitable payment so that the impact that you're having, you're actually making a contribution for that. Continue to look at the drainage assistance projects. If we have any appeals to the illicit connections and improper disposal ordinance, of course, we'll look at that and continue our annual review of the stormwater management plan. The issues and challenges we're seeing. So there's a cost to staying compliant with MPDES, and there's also capital investment needed. The city has identified, I believe, almost $1 billion in projects that could improve the stormwater that's impacting businesses and residents across the city. And so finding money for that is something that the department does a really good job with. One of the things I feel strongly about is we don't toot our own horn enough about how many grants we're getting. A lot of the money of these capital improvement projects, we're getting contributions from city or from the state and the nation at a very high level, so it's not as much of our taxpayer dollars going to it. And then, of course, raising public awareness and engagement so people don't just complain about it every time they see a storm, but they understand that it's something we're working on a regular basis. And I guess I would request you accept the report as presented.
Thank you, sir. I do have a few questions to have Councilmember Benavente Green and, of course, Hondros, the former member of the board.
Of course.
Thank you, Mr. Grant. You did a wonderful presentation. I appreciate all the hard work that y'all do. I tell people all the time when I first got on council, I had sort of what I was interested in, but then my inbox quickly filled up with issues of stormwater. So it's been wonderful to learn about all of those details from Byron and from Ms. Sheila as well. I just moved to accept the report, but of course I'll defer in case our alumnus would rather take the reins, in which case I'll withdraw my motion.
All right, Councilmember Green and Hondros.
Thank you. I just want to thank Mr. Granis for being here. We had to meet on another topic right after I took my oath and took my seat. And he politely referred to himself as the stormwater nerd. He did not mince any words. I prefer to say he's a guru on stormwater because if I had any stormwater questions, he was the first person I called. So we've had several conversations around stormwater. And for those of you who don't know him, he is also the bee guy. He has honeybees and knows everything about honeybees and has delicious honey. So if you ever have a question about bees and honeybees, he is also your go-to guy. And I hope that you will be willing to help me and Councilmember Davis in the calming of the voices that will obviously be annoyed at the routing of traffic around Rayford Road. For those who aren't aware, it will be closed for quite a while. And I think it's been moved now till April 14th. That is a stormwater project. For those of you who don't know, if you're listening on television, it is a stormwater project, and we have to fix that because there have been a lot of issues caused by that area right in there. And it does fall at the base of Mr. Granis's mother's home. So that is not the reason it's being repaired, but it does cause a lot of issues in Forest Lake and around and upstream from where that lands. So if you would like to know more, feel free to reach out to Whitaker Granis. He would be glad to help you. Thank you for being here. In all seriousness, thank you for being here because you have a very good knack for putting that in layman's terms because I didn't know a whole lot about stormwater. I knew probably enough to be dangerous. So.
Well, thank you, ma'am. Thank you for meeting with me earlier. That culvert project is going to be troublesome for a lot of people on their commute. That is a state project, not a city project. I believe by my non-engineer calculations, it's a 43% increase in the capacity of water that can move through that. And we talk about older infrastructure, that existing pipes were put in the 1940s. And so they are nearing 80 years. That bridge, that culvert is basically at the end of its life. And the city or the state is going to increase the level of service for that culvert from a 10-year storm to a 25-year storm. If you're not a stormwater geek, that's a very big improvement in the level of service available.
See, and all of that is helpful information when I have to answer all those phone calls that I will be answering. So thank you again. And Councilmember Benavente, I'll be happy to second his motion when that time comes.
All right, well, still got comments by the stormwater guru over
By
here.
the second stormwater guru.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you, Mr. Grandis. Excellent report. I'm anxiously awaiting the impervious area analysis myself and possible conversations around a tiered stormwater fee instead of the standard we have now. If there was one omission in the report, so our stormwater utility is used to be state leading when I was the chair, as you are now, and it's now nationwide leading. So I wish you would have included some of the awards and recognitions they got, because they have been recognized nationally, and I'm anxiously awaiting when they're globally recognized as a global leader in stormwater. But with that, if there's no other questions, I am prepared to move to accept the report.
All right. You said you had another question? Councilmember Thompson.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. And Mr. Grandis, thank you for your report. But I do have a question in reference to the DAP program. How much money is allocated to that program, and how much do we use every year?
I'm going to turn to the other expert.
So for this current fiscal year, council appropriated $750,000 towards the drainage assistance program. I don't know how much right now is remaining of that balance, but we can get that back to you about how much we've expended on that program.
Well, a follow-up to that question is what are some of the ways that we could streamline that process to make it more accessible to the citizens out there that need drainage assistance?
I'll throw an answer there. So there is a stormwater hotline that I did not mention in my presentation. In the last permitting process, the report that we reviewed for it, I was interested to find out that over 1,000 people call every year and report a stormwater problem there. And if you have a stormwater problem in your neighborhood, I would recommend you use the Fix-It app. Take a picture or a video of it. Those are really compelling. Tell us what's going on. A lot of time it's just a clogged pipe. And so it's an easy way to go through and work on it. But if you have an issue with stormwater on your property that's off the city right away, you call the stormwater line, you leave a message. They respond within 72 hours, 73 business days. They will have an engineer that comes out. They've got cameras. They can look through your pipes. They can figure out what's going on. You got a sinkhole in your backyard. They're great people to go through and figure out what's going on with it. I've also been impressed that a lot of those DAP programs are done in-house. And there was actually a quote. We asked about the budget a couple of meetings ago, and they put in a new concrete culvert for like $500, and I want to hire that contractor. I got work for them to do. I do appreciate when they're able to do stuff in house. They're able to do it cheaper, of course, than send it out to a contractor. And they are able to help a lot of low-income families and houses that really. The project we saw last month or the month before that, I believe there were 4 or 5 houses that were impacted. The pipes were all busted. The water was eating away. There was a 60 or 75-foot gully that had been cut between these houses. And I think it cost over $100,000 to fix. And if you looked at those houses, in my opinion, it would be very unlikely that they'd be able to fix that on their own. And at some point, it was going to go to the road. It was basically going back up towards the road where it would cause that problem. So the stormwater hotline, and very long answer to your question, stormwater hotline is a great way, and Fix-It app is a great way to.
Believe it or not, thank you for that, because that's what the citizens need to hear.
Yes, sir.
So I appreciate you providing that information. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Yes, sir. Councilmember Hondros.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Motion to approve the report.
All right, it's a motion by Councilmember Hondros, seconded by Green. All right, any discussion on the motion? Council, I'll look to you for your votes. Mayor Pro Tem, she's still on? Okay, all right, motion carries. Sir, I have a lot of questions about those bees and honey, but I'll take you up on that a little later.
Our next meeting is tomorrow night at 6 to 8:30 at the Cumberland County Agro Expo Center. We'd love to have you come on by, free to attend.
And you harness the actual honey at your?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I love honey, man. All right.
Yeah, it's delicious. If I can digress for 10 seconds, people, I apologize. Last time I presented to you was during the budget last year. I advocated for cancer screening for our firefighters. I really want to say to each of you, I appreciate you finding the money to fund that. I know it was a hard budget year. I really believe in that. I hope that it's not necessary, but I pray that if it is, it makes an impact in somebody's life. So thank you all.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you for your hard work. All right, council, moving to next report is the joint Fayetteville Cumberland County Citizens Advisory, Senior Citizens Advisory. Good evening.
Good evening, Mr. How are you?
Good. How are you, sir?
Good. And good evening, council. I am standing in for Ms. Belinda Jackson. So please bear with me. And I also stutter, so it's going to be a minute. Not long. I am here to read report on the annual report for the Joint Fayetteville Cumberland County Senior Advisory Commission. It's for the period of time this report covers August 2024 to present. Committee chair is myself. The committee members are one county and the rest are city: Darling Fair, Fernando Elazia, Laura Musler, Roger Rose, Van Sherrod, and June Visen. The main goals and objectives for the committee is to advocate for senior citizens in Fayetteville and Cumberland County, assist in providing senior citizens with resources, in which we are doing, and support in the city and also county. Utilize commission members to assist in the distribution of resources, programs, and volunteer opportunities. We are currently looking for more resources to help us along our way. Charges of tasks of the committee, the summary of accomplishments provided, an informational table at the senior citizen events, invited guest speakers from Mid-Carolina Regional Council and Council on Older Adults. We are also planning and luncheon to invite senior organizations so that we can further accomplish gaining resources. A list of activities and programs include upcoming events, discussion. Members of the commission will be attending more senior center events and events throughout the city. Members are creating a questionnaire box to be placed at the senior facilities and churches. We are also developing a new flyer and brochure, and also instituting a greater involvement on our Facebook page. Issues that need to be addressed: attendance, of course. No county members. Currently, the county is under revision with their boards, making changes to be similar with the city. The recommendation is we request members appointed to the commission to be senior citizens if possible.
That's it?
That's it, sir.
All right. Thank you, Councilman Benavente.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Incredible job, sir. I really appreciate you making that presentation. I always wanted to say a secret thank you to the senior Citizens Advisory Board, because when we were trying to develop a Millennial Advisory Commission, now called Fayetteville Next, we always referenced y'all, that if there can be something for seniors, there ought to be something for folks under 40 as well. But so there's always been this secret tacit support that y'all's existence has created for some other initiatives. So I just wanted to say thank you for that. Great work. And Mr. Mayor, I just move that we accept this report.
All right, it's motion by Councilmember Benavente, seconded by Councilmember Davis to accept the report. Any discussion? All right, look to you for your votes. All right. All right, who are we missing? Andres, okay. All right, motion carries. Thank you. It was ironic, the two youngest members on the board voted for the senior project and made the motion, so way to go. I'm glad y'all are learning something finally.
I thank you all.
Thank you.
And God bless you.
All right. All right, moving to next item. We'll move to 9.0's public hearing. Adoption of substantial amendments to the Housing and Urban Development Plan 2022, 23, 24, 25 annual action plans. Public hearings.
Good afternoon.
Let me hold on one second. Individuals desiring to speak at the public hearing should have signed up with the city clerk by name and address before the start of tonight's meeting. 15 minutes will be allowed for each side of the issue at the public hearing. City Council, in its discretion, may extend the time. Individual speakers will be limited to 3 minutes each unless by previous arrangement a single spokesperson is designated, in which case the spokesperson may then use the entire 15 minutes. Time used in response to a question from council will not be counted in the allotted 15-minute time. No audience will be allowed to speak during tonight's meeting. And this may be the old version I'm reading here. All right, but either way, Mr. Alex, we'll get this public hearing going, sir.
Certainly. Thank you, Mayor and members of council. This presentation we reviewed at the work session, but I will go over it briefly for those that may have not been in attendance or listening online. HOPWA is the only housing federal program that's dedicated to housing for people with AIDS. It's housing opportunities for people with AIDS. It can be used for a wide range of services, as you see there: case management, substance abuse, new construction, rehab. Beneficiaries must have an HIV diagnosis and must be below 80%, and for our program here at the city, they must reside in Cumberland, Hoke, or Harnett counties. In 22, the City Council adopted in May an allocation for $200,000 to provide affordable housing and placed that in the trust fund. In 24, Council also adopted the same $200,000 to build affordable housing units. Dogwood Healthcare, which is in Robeson County with the Robeson County Health Department, is our project sponsor, as we do not have anyone local within the county that can administer this program. They administer the program because they also do it in 6 other counties for the state, along with Ryan White. As you can see here, we allocated that again in the Housing Trust Fund, $200,000. We're asking you to move that to the bottom line, the Housing Support Services, or actually, apologize, to tenant-based rental assistance there to create $600,000. Same thing with 2024. We delegated $200,000. We're asking you to move that to housing services, which includes TBRA services. The need for amendment comes for several factors. First of all, we have seen a significant increase in rent locally. That has caused the subsidy payment to increase on behalf of these residents from our program. Some of the residents have seen a decrease in income as well, and so we have to pick up those eligible costs. The program sponsor also joined the local COC, and then no developers used the trust fund. As a result, we would have to start a waiting list if we do not move these funds from the Housing Trust Fund to the tenant-based rental assistance and housing services. Since we produced the amendment, substantial amendment, in January 31st, we have posted it on the website, Recreation Center. We've held a 30-day comment period. We have held public meetings. As a result of that, we had 5 who all work in this field and run the Ryan White program and other programs who voiced support for this. We had 1 person who spoke in opposition and said they should pay their own rent. So at this time, that concludes, and we'd proceed with our request for you to finish the public hearing and adopt the substantial amendment.
Thank you, Mr. Baker. So with that, we'll open the public hearing. Madam Clerk.
we go. We have no speakers for this item, sir.
All right, thank you. So with that, council, I will close the public hearing. I'll go to Councilmember Hare.
Thank you, Mayor. I move that we adopt the recommendations that were just posted by our manager, Mr. Alex Baker.
All right, it's a motion by Councilmember Hare. Is there a second by Councilmember Benavente?
Yes, sir.
Discussion on the motion. All right, council, I'll look to you for your votes. All right, Madam Clerk, motion carries.
Good job. Thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Baker. All right, council, item 10.01, authorize the PSAP 911 architectural agreement. And Mr. Lindsay, before you get started, I kind of want to just contextualize this a bit. So tonight, those that may or may not know, there's been some interest by the city and the county to discuss a joint or consolidated 911 system, emergency management system that's consistent city, county, and all the municipalities within. Those talks are ongoing per the council's direction a week or so ago with the county. And tonight is something that we need to do to kind of hold a placeholder so that we can still have consideration for a grant if those talks are not successful. So can you start with that? I just wanted to give some background.
You keep going, Mayor. You got this.
No, man.
So yes, sir, we are back in front of you. This item was tabled from a couple meetings ago at the council's request. You said it very well. There's the convergence of two things happening. The city has been working diligently towards a 911 center, and the item that is under consideration was awarding a contract to an architect to proceed. The timing was such that we have a grant that's available at the state level that we didn't want to miss out on, and having some architectural services along with other professional services gives us a greater chance of potentially a $9 million construction grant. But as you just clearly stated, there's also some ongoing discussions about consolidation, which is a different approach to that, which is not what we'll have time to put in for the grant. So we want to run parallel track. And so tonight the ask is if council will continue to table, if you will, the architectural services agreement. We'll bring that back at a later time as necessary. What we'll be looking for tonight is council's approval to pursue that 911 construction grant at the state level and to engage our professional partners to help us prepare that. That can continue as we also continue our great conversations with our county partners about a possible consolidation. And as both of those things play out, some future decisions will come before this council on the path forward.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Lindsay. So I did have just a question for clarity. So tonight, because of the deadline, this would be an ask of how much money to engage the architectural firm to make provisions in case these talks for consolidation are not successful. How much is the commitment?
Sure, we don't have a formal proposal, but informally they told us that somewhere in the neighborhood of $10,000 they could do this work for us, and we have that in the project budget. Again, we want to make sure council was okay with us pursuing that path while we simultaneously pursue a different path, because at some point we'll have to make a decision on which path we take.
And have the staffs begin discussion. I think you spoke a little bit to that. Can you talk to that a bit?
Yes, sir. Of course, there's been several years and iterations of these conversations, but most recently, last week, we had some very informal discussions. A few of our county partners, along with our city staff and our public safety representatives, about the idea of a consolidation, and very positive conversations. And as noted, the chairman of the county commissioners sent out a notification just today of an interest in a meeting coming up at the end of this month with what should be and a full range of the partners, and that is the appropriate way to handle this moving forward.
All right, thank you. Councilman Thompson.
I was ready to make a motion, Mr. Mayor, but I just also wanted to make a statement that there's been a lot of discussion about collaborating and coexisting in a partnership of a new 911 call center. I think this process has been going on since 2004. So I think it's also important that we protect ourselves to make sure that we have a pathway moving forward in case this doesn't come to fruition. So with that being said, Mr. Mayor, I'd like for us to authorize staff to move forward with applying the for the North Carolina fiscal year 2026 911 grant, utilizing the professional services in pursuant of a standalone 911 call center.
All right, there's a motion by Councilmember Thompson and a second by Councilmember McNair. Discussion on that? All right. Let me just say this, Council, before you vote during the discussion phase. I am appreciative that this council is looking to take on a task that has been ongoing for so many years, and this commission finally getting to a point of where we can have a discussion that's in the best interest of the whole community. So hopeful that it does work out to where we can save costs and be more efficient and collaborate. But I think this is a necessary step, so I appreciate I appreciate that. Yes, sir.
Let me just also add that we've heard a lot of key words tonight. We talked about regional, we talked about partnership, we talked about teamwork, we talked about collaboration. I think we should always be a part of that conversation. We can do more together than we can apart, Mr. Mayor.
Well,
so
well
I look forward to the forward conversation.
All right, well said, sir. All right, Council, look to you for your vote. Stand on wasting tax money. All right, motion carries. All right, Council, motion to adjourn? All right, have a good evening.